All right, here with head softball coach Shannon Salsburg. And Shannon, just take us through this past weekend. Really a great opening to MAC play, 3-1, split against Ohio, and then the sweep of Akron.
Yeah, this weekend was about consistency. I thought we played really solid in all aspects, and I think that showed in the 3-1 record. I think Friday we started off with a bang. Ohio's a heck of a team, and especially after taking that first game, we knew they were going to fight. So it was great to get that first win. We expected them to come back and to have bases loaded and an opportunity in the seventh was exciting. And then to go to Akron, we talk about every inning matters, and Akron gave us a run, especially on Sunday, and for the team to find a way to shut the door shows huge progress. It shows that we've really grown up and matured as a team, and we weren't going to settle for anything less than a victory, and that's exciting to me as a coach.
You mentioned Akron. Talk about the second game of that series, a grand slam home run for Andrea Arney. Just talk about how important that was to start off, and I'm going to ask a question about that later, about how well you've done in the first inning of games.
Yeah, you always set the tone when you score early. We have done well doing that. But it was really important because on Saturday it was frigid. It was about 40 degrees. There wasn't a whole lot of offense on either side. And their pitcher did a nice job of really shutting down, especially the top of our lineup. So to have them have to switch pitchers instantly in that first inning, and when they brought in the kid that we had faced the day before, and Andrea, sees her first pitch and drives it out of the park, that's exciting. And it set the tone that, hey, we can make an adjustment, and we're here to play today. So that was pretty awesome, and that was huge for us.
Talk about just being able to open games as strong as you have. You've scored most of your runs in the first inning as compared to other innings throughout the season. Is there an emphasis that you put on that as a coach?
Well, we talk about being aggressive early. I think it's just something that has become the trend for us, and that's a fantastic trend. I hope it continues. But it also takes some pressure off our pitchers. It takes pressure off the defense. Anytime you can have a lead now, that other team is forced into a little bit of survival mode, especially that early in the game. So that's exciting. One of the things that we want to continue to get better at is putting runs up consistently through the game. I think after the fourth inning, it got a little bare for a while, and that allowed them the opportunity to get back in the game. So that's something that we're working on. But that first inning has been big for us, and it's exciting. It just really sets a tone that this is our game. Come and get it.
You talked about the pitching. Give us an update on the young pitching staff for the Falcons.
Yeah, both Jamie and Paris, again, had great weekends for us. Jamie she had great stuff this weekend. Really was in control, really shut down. The thing about both of them that's so interesting is as freshmen, they can walk somebody and then literally the very next pitch is a strike and they're right back at them, the hitters. And that you don't always see that mentality. And that really carries over to the rest of the team. Paris had a really nice outing on Sunday. Got into a little bit of trouble with some bloops. And sometimes that happens. Akron's free swingers, and they found 4 or 5 bloops in a row, and they have speed. So we made the adjustment. Jamie came in, shut them down. But that's why we're so strong in the circle this year, is because they complement each other very well, and they both have the ability to come in and finish a game.
Give us a quick preview on Valpo on Wednesday, your home opener. Welcome home. I know you've been on the road for a long time. What are we going to expect?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, from everything that we've found out about Valpo, they can swing the bat, so it's going to be important that we have solid defense, solid pitching, and that we continue to come out aggressively offensively. The same 3 things we always talk about. But they're a team that has had a lot of success again this year. I think they're going to be scrappy. They're going to get after us. It's going to be important that we play a solid game all the way around and find ways to score early and often, for sure.
Last question. Hannah Folk is quietly, I would say quietly, but having a great season. Right. She has 26 walks this year. That's her career best, 3 more than she had all of last season. Right. How big of a role does she play in starting off games fast?
Hannah plays a huge role for us. We've laughed because there's been some weekends where Hannah has wished that she had hit a little bit more, but in those weekends she's still on base like 400 on base percentage. She's just that kid that finds a way. She's scrappy. The joke now is how many pitches is Hannah going to see in her first at bat? This weekend she averaged 11. So what's great about that is our hitters are sitting there watching, and we literally get to see every pitch the kid has during Hannah's at bat. And it doesn't matter if she's 0-2, she's going to figure out a way to walk. So she makes a huge difference for our offense, no doubt about it.
All right. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.